What we're talking about today is Lesson 4, Order of Operations. Once again, another important fundamental lesson for Algebra 1. If you can't follow order of operations, then you're going to have a really hard time solving and doing some of the things that we do in Algebra 1. So, the order of operations is a set of rules for simplifying expressions. These are things that need to find their way into your notes. Okay? First, it says to work inside grouping symbols. Grouping symbols are parentheses, braces, brackets, those sorts of things. Number 2, the next thing on our list is simplify powers and roots. Powers and roots are done in the exact same step. Okay, if there are multiple, then we would do them from left to right, of course, but those can be done in the same step. Multiplication and division from left to right. I would like to point out, I would like to point out and, okay? Multiply and divide from left to right. It doesn't say multiply then divide. It says multiply and divide. So that is the same step also. If there is division to the left of a multiplication, you do the division first because we have to go from left to right. And finally, step 4, add and subtract from left to right. The exact same situation. It says and here. So it's not add then subtract, it's add and subtract from left to right. And we have a nice little saying here that helps us remember. And we have, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, which is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. If you need that, you can write that at the top of your paper. Some of my older kids like to use just PEMDAS. They can remember PEMDAS, and that helps them, so that's what they use. Feel free to use whatever you need to help you remember, because this is very important. So our first example, we have simplify and to justify each step. So what we have here is what is given to us. Okay. Then we have 4 times 5, the quantity of 4 times 5, plus 3 times the quantity of 6 plus 2. Remember, we have to follow PEMDAS, which is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Okay, so the first one is parentheses, and here we have 2 sets of parentheses. There's only one step inside of both of those, so we're just going to simplify. So whenever you do these, I expect you to show me the tornado, and I'll show you what I mean at the end of this. So whenever I'm simplifying, I always show a little arrow saying that that's what I'm doing. Okay? So on this one, I have 4 times 5, which is 20, plus 3, and then I have times 6 plus 2, which is 8. And this was my parentheses. You can write it out, but you know that that's the P, so we're done with that. Exponents. I don't have any exponents over here, so we're done with that. Then we have multiplication and division, which is from left to right. I only have multiplication here, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to show my arrow. So 3 times 8 is 24. So I'm done with this step, because that's one step. And then finally I have addition and subtraction. And every time I do this, I need to make sure that I bring everything straight down. So I multiplied here, and I need to show that that's what I did, was multiply. Or I can show this. Okay. I'm going to bring everything else straight down in the order that it appears. So now I have 20 plus 24, which is very basic for us. 20 plus 24 is 44. And this was just that we added. Okay, so final answer. This is the tornado that I'm talking about right here. Every time that you do one of these problems, it should come down and look like a tornado. It should start out very wide and then work its way down into the final answer. Example 2, we have two separate problems here to simplify. So what we're going to do is I'm going to help you do A, and then I want you to do B on your own paper. So on A, we have 5 squared plus 8 divided by 2 minus 3 times 2 to the third power. Now, notice that I've rewritten the problem even though it's right here. Every time we have a math problem, we should rewrite it. I'm not saying you need to rewrite every word problem, but if it's something that we're just simplifying, we need to write it on our paper. So bring it on down, and we have to follow our order of operations, which is our PEMDAS. Okay, so first we have parentheses. We only have one set of parentheses here, and there's nothing to simplify inside of that, so we don't have any parentheses to simplify. Then we have exponents. We only have one exponent, and it's right here, so we have 2 to the third. I'm going to show my arrow what I'm doing. So 2 to the third is 8, and I'm going to bring everything else straight down as it appears above so that we can work this step by step. Oop, I lied. We had 2 exponents, excuse me. So we also have 5 to the second, which is 25. So we are now done with exponents. Multiplication and division, remember, is one step that we do from left to right. So from left to right, any multiplication or division. So we're going to start on the left side. This is addition. Then we have division. So we're going to do that, which is 8 divided by 2 is 4. Minus, and then 3 times 8 is 24. So we have to bring down that 24. And at this point, we have to bring down everything that we didn't use. So we didn't use the subtraction, we didn't use the addition, and we didn't use the 25. Okay? Alright, so we're done with this. You can cross that out. Finally, all we have left is addition and subtraction, which we do from left to right. So starting from the left, we have addition first, so we'll do that first. We have 25 plus 4 is 29, minus 24, which gets us 5. Now notice that I have my nice, oops, let me get it all on the screen here, my nice tornado here every single time. Okay, now what I want you to do as part of your assignment is I want you to go ahead and work on example B on your own, and we will talk about that in class tomorrow. Okay, this is the, I believe, final example of the lesson. Nope, I lied. Okay. This is example 3, and it is wanting us to compare using either greater than, less than, or equal to. So in order for us to do that, we have to simplify both sides first. So I'm going to start by simplifying the left side, just because that's what's most common to me. So we're going to start by simplifying parentheses first. So inside of the parentheses, we have 2.5 plus 5, which gets us 7.5. And then I'm going to bring everything else straight down. The next in our order of operations after parentheses is exponents. So we have 4 squared, which gets us 16 plus that 3 divided 7.5. So now we have to follow order of operations. We have a division here, even though it doesn't really look like it. That's what that is a division. Okay, and we have addition. So of course the division is going to go first. So we have 7.5 divided by 3. 3 goes into 7 twice with 1 left over. So we have 2.5 plus that 16. 2.5 plus 16 is going to get us 18.5 on the left. Alright, so on the right hand side we have to go ahead and simplify this. Okay, in these types of problems, the division bar can also be thought of as a symbol of inclusion, because we have to do everything on the top and everything on the bottom before we can do that division. It doesn't actually come in the step of division. Everything has to be simplified before we can divide. Okay? So what we have first here is parentheses. So I have 22 plus 5 is going to be 27. Man, I need some more practice with my tablet here. Sorry about my poor handwriting. 27 divided by 3 minus 9. So 27 divided by 3 is going to give us 9. Minus 9 gives us 0, which means that when we compare these two things, the left side would then be greater than the right side. So I would say that 18.5 is greater than 0. Finally, it says use the drawing to write an expression to find the area of the shaded region. So what I want you to do is I want you to come up with something in your notebook with your notes and bring it to class with us tomorrow. Make sure you have a good idea of what it is that you're doing, and we will talk about it on the board tomorrow first thing. Have a good night.